Welcome to TikTok Live. Have fun interacting with the host and other viewers in real time, and remember to create a safe viewing experience by following our community guidelines. Go ahead, tell me that you're telling people that we're live. We're notifying viewers that you're live. It's very nice of you. I don't believe you because I believe I'm being shadow banned. And there's a new thanks. M just random dude joined. You are number one today, my friend. I'm just a random dude. Who else is going to join us this morning? Tyler99 is here. What's up, Tyler? G Quincy 90. What's up, my friend? How are you today? You guys got shit on your mind today? Lots to talk about in the world of Christian nationalism. Adelinus, K, somebody. Thanks for joining, you guys. Pile in, move on to the back, make room for your friends. Remember the rules on the train. No spitting, no loud radios, and no preaching on the train. If you preach on the train, you get kicked off. My moderators will be here and they will fucking kick you off if you preach on the train. I'm doing pretty good. G Quincy, what's up with you? Some bitch in Texas. What's up? Some bitch in Texas. I love that. Death King. Evan Smith. Vink V1 NCX. Hey, what's up, buddy? Faye Akers. Slaw Bunnies. Tootsie 1313. James W. May. Debbie. Jake from State Farm. Jake. You got khakis on, Jake? Gordon Hilly. Nino Aragigi. User is my name. What's up, Plague Maniac? Plague Maniac. What's up with you, man? Know if any petitions we can sign to tax churches? No, I don't. You can start one. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. It's a good question. God followers, Spider Web, Robert Wilson 7781, Chris Hummel 77, Chanel Poo 3, Alan Gillespie, Star 2511, use a lot of numbers. Daryl Widener 2, use a lot of numbers. Laugh in Love, just me coolin'. Oh, God is good. God followers and disciples. No preaching on the train. Why would you come here and do that, man? You have been blocked. Bye. I do it myself. I haven't seen any of my moderators come on yet. If you're here, let me know, guys. First Century Christian joins 6B12. Spot Check News. Thanks for being here, everybody. On a Sunday morning. It was a beautiful fucking Sunday. Drizzly rain. Just wanted to stay in bed all day. What's the best thing about being an atheism? You don't have to go to church in the morning on Sunday. You can sleep in. There's a bunch of petitions on change.org to tax churches. There you go. Change.org. Thank you, Jedediah. Pointing that out. Go sign. I don't know if it'll do any good, you know. But yeah, is Boxcar Willie dead? That's too bad to hear. David Famish, 1969. I feel I don't have the musical talent of a Boxcar Willie, but thanks for saying that. This is the kind of brunch I need. Religious freedom is awesome. It is awesome, and we're being attacked. Our religious freedom being attacked all the time. Got a couple of fucking articles pulled up on Reddit where people are trying to do that. For brunch today, I got me a superfood. Half of an avocado. Buttery, nutty, delicious. Who doesn't like avocados? I feel like people who don't like avocados are just being contrarian, you know. They're fucking great, man. And what a superfood. What kind of music you like, man? You know what? I like a lot of music. I like all kinds of music. I came up with a new wave movement, post-punk, Clash, Elvis Costello, The Jam, Boomtown Rats. That's my go-to stuff, which kind of progressed into alternative through the 80s and 90s, and you know, progressive and alternative rock is still probably my go-to. But I love a lot of music, man. I love world music. I love a lot of hip hop. I love a lot of like bluegrass, roots bluegrass, no country. No pop country, and no heavy metal. I don't really do heavy metal very much, but other than that, I like a lot of music. If they can be plague rats and not get a vaccine, atheists can be respected and left alone. yeah, that's true, man. The spreadnecks who don't want to get a vaccine, you think I don't know, it's not going to make a difference. Atheists are not going to get left alone. Mike on guitar says he can't do country either. Do you still watch VHS? No. What's up, Kevin Rubix? My guys here and non-crazy cat lady. They're my mods. Follow them if you haven't already. Great creators on TikTok. Hello, Betty Florence. How are you, my girl? Ever heard of Clarence White? I don't know Clarence White. Birds, of course, the Birds. Who hasn't heard of the Birds? Clarence White, I don't know though. What is your favorite concert you've gone to? Oh man. Ooh, my favorite concert. I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of good concerts. I saw Bob Dylan at the old Poplar Creek with Steve Earle when Steve Earle was at the height of his success in the late 80s. That was a really, really great concert, I have to say. I saw Hard to beat Van Morrison. I saw Van Morrison at the London Odeum back in the day, and what a great fucking show that was. I mean, I was blown away. I did not know what to expect. I was a fan, but as far as like a concert, going to a concert, it was righteous. It was absolutely fucking fantastic. Guess you are a Talking Heads fan? Yeah, the Talking Heads are a great group, man. What a great American band. One of the best American bands there's ever been. Absolutely love David Byrne and the Talking Heads. That was right in my wheelhouse. You're very right. God bless you, brother. Hope all is well. Thank you for the good thoughts, but there is no God. Yeah, I saw Pink Floyd post Roger Waters, which never really bothered me as much as it does a lot of people. I'm a big David Gilmour fan. Saw those guys. I'm trying to think what else. Saw Tom Waits in London as well. That was a great concert. Tom Waits, a great artist. Do you know your Lord and Savior Q? Yeah, we got a QAnon person here. What's going on with QAnon? Kind of System of a Down. What's that mean, Soyuz? I feel like QAnon's kind of lost some steam. Is it still chugging full speed ahead? The QAnon conspiracy theorists. Are you guys still high on Q? Yeah, that's some goofy shit, isn't it? Lamb's blood for anti-venom, only blood you can use. God is real. Yeah, you can go away. Thank you for that. System of a Down is a metal band. Is that what you're saying, Soyuz? Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like I said, metal doesn't fucking reach me, man. I like melody and harmony and clever lyrics and deep thoughts. A little too much to be into metal, my friend. JFK be here next week. JFK Jr. be here next week. Who doesn't miss JFK Jr. Man? He was all right. It's bizarre that he got mixed up with the Q thing because he's at the bottom of the fucking Atlantic, man. Well, I guess they dragged him out of there, but yeah, sad story about that. Good morning, my wife and kids headed to church. I'm about to my own Bible study with Bart Ehrman. Nice, medieval. Thank you for that. Good luck. A lot of guys like Bart Ehrman. He's a salty guy, but he knows his stuff. Yeah, if you ever meet him, not as much fun as you might want from a guy like that, but he sure knows his shit, man. I can't argue with that. System of a Down kicks assum, actually. Progressive person from PA, my guy. What's up? Progressive person from PA, from Charlotte, the area, right? I remember you. You like System of a Down? All right. Well, I don't mean to get down on metal. A lot of people love metal. Just doesn't touch me. Doesn't touch my spirit. I don't know what to say. Then you believe in Q? No, I don't believe in Q. What the fuck? The stream is always so chill. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. I really appreciate everybody being here. I'll talk about anything you want to. I'll ask any questions you got. Greetings from Russia. What's up, my friend? Gvozdem. I have to look at this 10 times every time. Gvozdem Nevgolovu. That's what it is. Gvozdem Nevgolovu. What's up, Sin-Free Atheist is here. My guy, the Mexican Atheist. What's happening, man? Come get some. Oh, one. Good morning, my friend. Thank you, Godless Artist. Appreciate you. Leon Russell. That had to be cool, man. That Leon Russell and Hilo. That's awesome, man. I've never seen Leon Russell. Would absolutely have loved that. Been to Hilo though, and what a cool town on the windward side of the island, right where they get the rainforest in Hilo. Have I read The Teaching? No, I've not read The Teaching. Have you? Can you type in not all caps? I feel like I'm getting yelled at. It's okay if you can't. I'll deal with it. Morning from St. Louis. Keep doing the good work. Thank you, man, Darren Martin. We appreciate you, and we plan on keeping on doing the good work. Yes, Mexican Atheist. Itchy hemorrhoid. What's wrong? Itchy hemorrhoid. I got one of those. Excuse me, why? Scratch my itchy hemorrhoid. That's a gross name, man. Props. I love it. Itchy Hemorrhoid says Mexican Atheist Lao. What? Yeah, our guy, Sin-Free Atheist. I think he's in, you're not in Mexico, are you? Sin-Free Atheist? Didn't you say you're living somewhere else now? But yeah, Mexican by birth and by nationality. And there's Mexico. If you don't know this, Mexico, giant fucking country, home to the biggest city in the world. Bound to be some atheists there. But I get you, man. Why should he explain? Maybe you should research why you shouldn't believe in God. Explain what? My name is Norel. Maybe I should research why you shouldn't believe in God. Maybe I should research. Yeah, that's real deep research there. Let me see. Let's look for evidence. No evidence anywhere. Research done. Research why I don't believe in God. You have questions. If you have questions that you don't want me to miss, put them in the question box down at the bottom because when I get talking, I miss I miss some of the conversation going by, and I don't want to do that. It bugs me because I really would love to be able to get to all of you. It's just it's kind of impossible when I'm here by myself. So you think this simulation doesn't have a creator? Well, if it's a simulation, it certainly has a creator, doesn't it? That doesn't say God to me. You know what I mean? If this is a simulation and it has a creator, why is the creator of the simulation God? Isn't the creator just a programmer somewhere with a really big brain? Why would that be a God? God is the precondition for all intelligibility. Without God, you can't make any claim. Okay. Mojo Rising. Nice one. Wait, wait. There you go. That's what I think of that deep philosophical thought. Want to go live with the Holy Spirit? Where's he at, man? What's he doing today? Is he shagging any Jewish virgins today? I hear he parties. You know, if the Holy Spirit is as randy as we hear, he has absolutely love to hang out with the Holy Spirit. Let's go live with him. Someone told you to explain why you don't believe in God. I was responding to their comment. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, yeah, I don't mean any shade if I misunderstood that. I missed that. Why don't I believe in God? There's nothing there to believe in. You have to come up with a reason to believe a fantasy story if you want to believe in God. That's like, that's just not me. What can I tell you, man? uh, I am him. Let's go live show. You are him. What? Why are you sorry? Who? How created the universe? Okay. God is the universe. You can't be atheist. God is the universe. You can't be atheist if you. That's not a question or a complete sentence. Godless artist says mine is the Chandrakar limit. Don't know what that is. Where did you get the hat on? Amazon. Thanks. What's my favorite scientific fact? Oh man, I don't know. Man. I have to think about that. I love science. Gets me off. Don't you think science is cool? But on like a like a topical level. Like as soon as it gets into lab work where you got to stay up all night and study math and shit that you don't understand, then it like loses its charm for me. But the physical sciences, the natural sciences, who doesn't love that shit, man? I have no idea what my favorite scientific fact would be. The fact that humans are animals, just like every other animal. That's my favorite scientific fact. No reason to think we have a soul. No reason to think that we're special. No reason to think that somebody put us here to enjoy and rape this planet until it's done. Um, we are just another animal. We have highly evolved brains. We can think on a level that animals really can't compare to, and that has led us to all kinds of trouble. So here we are. What's your take on the people in power, not the puppets? The reptilians? I'm waiting to see one. I'm into Mother Nature myself. Yeah, that's it's a good bit. Atheist Sanctuary 2. Go follow them if you have not. They're great. And good to see you, baby. How are you? Not everyone wants God. Thank you. That's okay. That's exactly right. And God is there for you. The concept of God will always be there for you if that's something that you need to get through the night. Some of us don't need mythology to embrace this beautiful life. Uh, why should why we should not believe in God? Um, because I would just answer that by saying that because you owe it to yourself and to the rest of the people around you and to everyone on the planet to be the best, smartest person you could be. And believing in God simply drags people down, as far as I can see. Maybe it comforts you on a personal level. Maybe it helps you sleep at night, and that's your right. And I'm not going to tell you not to believe in God, but if you're going to ask me why you shouldn't believe in God, I'm going to tell you right away because you will make the world a better place if you give up on that bullshit, and you'll find probably the peace of mind that you were always looking for if you just let it go. It becomes very, very simple. All the contradictions, all the paradoxes, all the unanswered questions, they just go away when you realize that what you're looking for isn't there. Thank you, because believing in a lie is a lot of thank you, Lost in Space. Believing in a lie is a waste of a lot of time. uh, uh, uh. Help, I'm the Holy Spirit. Why do you need help then if you're the Holy Spirit? You need help doing your dirty work today? You can get a posse up, I'm sure. The idea of God is just that, an idea, a fantasy story, no more than Game of Thrones or fairies. Less than Game of Thrones, I would say. I think Game of Thrones, much more believable, much more interesting, much more fun, a lot of better titties, than the God story. Um, I am Jesus reincarnated. King Shark 339 says he is Jesus reincarnated. Jesus is on my live, reincarnated in the person of King Shark 339. Thanks for being here. You're a wise man. Wish it was more people like you in the way. Thank you, man. I don't know. I just, what's obvious is obvious, and there's three things you can count on in life: death, taxes, and there ain't no loving God who created me, you, my parents. See, my dad got on top of my mom, and well, if I can't help you if you don't know about that. Jesus passed away, yeah, a long fucking time ago. If he ever existed, Jesus is dead. No Yeshua is in Yeshua is in Los Angeles. Okay. I think there's probably a lot of people in Los Angeles who think that they're Jesus. Jesus returned to watch your live. Yeah, that's awesome, man. He's like, this guy, he's pretty entertaining, right? Thank you for being here, Jesus. You're probably talking about Jesus. I'm sure there's a few Jesuses on here. God made the virus because he hates his creation. Yeah, well, you can point to like a zillion things throughout history, right? Pray to God to get rid of the virus that he made and sent to us. Spirituality is deeper than anything be due to God or Allah or green forests. Objectivity also. Yeah, I don't feel like I think spirituality. Um, this guy keeps going. How created your parents? I think you mean who. It's actually WHO. Who created your parents? And then you'd put a question mark at the end of that if that's a question. But my parents created my parents. You genius. Uh, Jesús, is that you, primo? ¿Qué onda, primo? ¿Cómo has estado, man? Pinche Jesús, man. All the thumpers are up in arms about you, mate. Love it. Yeah. I had to fucking block a few people already, man, this morning coming on here and preaching right away. Any dirty limericks today? I always got dirty limericks. I can always come up with a dirty limerick. I think the last time I just like said a dirty limerick, I got kicked off of the live. You know what I mean? And that was when I was on with I Blame Bill last time, right? I just like came up with a couple of limericks that weren't even anti-religious. They were just my dirty limericks, and they were really dirty, man. And I think someone complained. What do you think about witchcraft? Hey, man, witchcraft is just more woo. My ex-wife is into witchcraft. She bought a spell book. It's the power of thought, right? I mean, if you want to, I believe there's something to that. I mean, I think the physical effects of positive thinking are fairly well defendable. Maybe not, but I think so. If you're trying to you're trying to have a good time in your life, it pays to have a better outlook than a bummed out one, right? So if you feel like witchcraft is doing something for you, it's just like prayer, right? It's on an individual level, it works. It excites the part of your brain that might keep you healthier, that might keep you in a better mood, and it definitely calms you down, right? So if casting spells makes you feel like you're doing something, and hey, man, more power to you. Cast that spell, but magic isn't real. There's just no evidence for that. You believe moral conscience can exist without good or evil objectively existing? Yeah, I think so. I always get confused with these deep questions, but yeah, I think that we all have moralities. It revolves around social ethics. You don't do harm to other people. And I think something else reminded me of the morality, how morality is changing, and I can't think of it now. But yeah, obviously, um, morality exists on some level or not. I get bored by the morality fucking debates. We clearly have a collective morality as a society. We pass laws so that people who don't follow that collective morality go to jail as sociopaths. So, what about Stephen King? He's cool. I read Stephen King when I was in college and read a few books enough to know that like keeping on reading them wasn't going to thrill me. But they're all right. I like his stuff. All right. A Course in Miracles. Somebody else brought that up last time. I don't know really anything about A Course in Miracles. Who says you can't do harm to other people? I said it. Mojo Rising. God is only real in people's minds, their imagination. Yeah, indeed. That's very true. Morality is not objective. It can only be subjective, of course, which is run in my bloodline. I'm the first born again Christian. Sorry to hear that. Go back to being a witch. My advice. Good, bad, by what standard? May his great meat sauce protect us all. We talking about the flying spaghetti monster? Um, and the 10 condiments. Doesn't he come with 10 condiments? Do you want to become a Muslim? No, I'd rather eat a plate of shit than become a Muslim. What the fuck kind of question is that? Do you want to become a Muslim? Yes, yes, I want to. I want to go back to misogyny and patriarchy and believing mythology and yeah, please. What's up, Heather? Heather Mack, 44. Hola is here. Do you think ghosts are our atoms replaying our traumatic experiences? No, I think ghosts are largely the product of our our um, our minds. And if if you're seeing ghosts and you haven't been able to record it, like everybody who ever saw a ghost somehow hasn't been able to record it or verify it. I can't explain that shit. I do think there's probably some science there that we don't understand. Um, and maybe we will. Maybe it'll get explained. But yeah, right now, no real evidence for ghosts, is there? Other than anecdotal evidence. Eaten any honey scrolls? What's up? Come get some. No, I have not eaten any honey scrolls lately. They're tasty though. They go down good, don't they? Op mint. What is that? If you do not have a clear definition of a higher self, made God, you grow stagnant in personal devel. If you do not have a clear definition of a highest self-made God, you grow stagnant in personal devel. Okay, I don't have any idea what that sentence means. You can take a little more time to type, and it'll come out right. Making lots of claims without justifying your reasoning because you know God exits. Yes, God does exit as soon as reason enters. God exits. Well said. Um, Jesus loves the vaccinated. Yeah, Jesus doesn't want to come back and get sick, right? Jesus is like, I'm not coming back till you fuckers get vaccinated, man. I'm right here where I am, germ free, in heaven, next to this old pervert, um, who's actually myself, and I'm gonna stay here till you fuckwits who pretend to worship me get a fucking vaccine. Because I'm not going down there with my 2,000-year-old biology and catching COVID and dying. Are you already your highest self? Um, No, I did get high last night though, but I still wasn't quite my highest self at that point. I was just a little bit high. I've been really fucking high. Played poker last night, man. You guys like poker? We have a poker group that plays in the winter. Once golf season ends, these guys get together and play poker every 2 weeks on a Saturday. And I got my ass kicked again, man. It's a couple times in a row. No cards at all. No, I love poker, man. I mean, I love poker like few things. Matthew Feek, he says he grows fire. Ooh, we talking about weed again, man? Uh-uh. Bro, come spark up with me and my GF. Ah, right. That sounds like where you at, man? That sounds like an invitation. I would be there, my friend. It's bad that I pity people that believe in God and or gods. No, I have that same feeling. I can't deny. Excuse me. I got a little post nasal drip here going too. So I'm gonna try to keep those nasties out of the camera. But yeah, um I feel the same way. I pity people and maybe that's wrong. I'm not saying it's right or good, but yeah, I feel religious thinkers are less intelligent than most people, and I feel pity for people who are stuck in the God myth. I feel like they're in jail. I feel like they're emotionally enslaved, and I do. I feel the same way. What is strip poker? Strip poker is when you bet with your clothes. I haven't played strip poker since I was in college, when I didn't mind getting naked in front of people. At this point, nobody wants to see that. But yeah, what is strip poker? Why are you asking that? You know what strip poker is. You want to play? I played strip poker with like 6 girls. It was just me and like 6 chicks playing strip poker. That was good. One night in college. I'm looking at the questions here. Do you have any other platforms? Yeah, we're on all the social media, and I'm on YouTube right now. And there's my guys. Hey, our guy from Russia, Hamlet Aloyan. Big shout out for the the Russian demon known as Hamlet Aloyan, one of my great fans on YouTube. He's always sending me these big giant Russian comments that I can't really read. uh, Jesus is most definitely not made up. Most atheists agree that he existed. So use a lot of numbers. Is that kind of a non sequitur? Why no one said that he didn't exist yet today that I saw? But it's immaterial to an atheist if Jesus existed or not. He wasn't divine. He wasn't God. So yeah, maybe he did. I doubt it. Not in any kind of form that you think of. Christians are rescue animals. Like, adopt a Christian and go down to the shelter and grab one. He's like shaking in his cage, looking up at you with those puppy eyes. Just take me home and feed me some Bible verses, please. uh, I asked, was it strip poker? Oh, was it strip poker? And of course, I want to play. Yeah, no, it was not strip poker. These 10 old boys, nobody wants to play strip poker with these old fuckers. It's like 6, 8 guys my age. Uh, not the kind of crowd you want to see at strip poker, honestly. Jesus is the same as our Joshua. What do you mean our? Who's our Joshua? These people realize how many Joshuas there are? Yeah, it was a very common name, clearly. Uh, who the fuck would want to be a Christian, though? Who the fuck would want a Christian, though? Yeah. My favorite Bible verse is Insanity 666. All right, I get you. I get you. I need God as a placeholder for correct action, as social ethics are immoral and indecent. I'm not sure what you're getting at there. Help my TikTok's full of thumpers pouting pish. That's what you get, man. I don't spend a lot of time looking at other lives on TikTok, as you really do. You run into like people just like talking shit and reading the Bible and really like coming up with shit off the top of their heads, man. It's not even ever really like a decent theological foray into some at least some knowledge on that level. You know what I mean? Like you can hear religious thinkers talk and make you think about some stuff, but usually on these TikTok, when I find it's like some fucking kid who has no fucking idea, and they're literally just talking out their ass about God and Jesus. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Jesus lives next door to me. Nice. Yeah, the Bible is completely immoral and indecent. Thanks, Nana. 218. I don't know if you've been asked this. What are your thoughts on the Satanic Temple and/or modern Satanism? People ask me all the time, literally all the time. I've done a video on both, and a video on the lower Satanic denominations, right? Luciferianism, and there's a bunch of like theistic Satanists and lots of cults. But yeah, I love the Satanic Temple and Church of Satan. I could do without the magic part, and the takeover at the hands of white supremacists that the Church of Satan has had to deal with. Um, but in general, yeah, the philosophies of hedonism and humanism, and self improvement are great. And what the Satanic Temple is doing, as far as using, their status as a religion, to point out the horrible hypocrisy of the hypocristians in society, fighting the theocracy in their ways, is genius. I love all that stuff. Got no problem with it at all. I loaded up on some runts. You talking about is that like candy runts? Did you create it yourself, or were you created, or just saw yourself on Earth and have no idea? What the fuck does that mean, man? Did you create it yourself, or were you created? Exclamation point, where a question mark should be. Or you just saw yourself on Earth and have no idea. That's closer to the truth. All of us see ourselves on Earth and we have no idea. Some of us, some of you, I should say, make up a god to explain why you're here. Some of us understand that science knows why we're here. Science knows how life evolved on rocky planets. And it's not really, all you have to do is look it up. You don't have to fucking guess. You don't have to be like, oh, how do you think you got here? No, go fucking talk to a biologist, man. We know how we got here. It's not even all that challenging. Like trying to get your head around the dimension that existed at the singularity and the phases that we can't understand because we just can't perceive them in that way. That's tough. Cosmology is tough. Understanding how life evolved on rocky planets is down to reading about cyanosulfidic chemistry and 13 or 4.8 billion years of evolution or whatever the fuck it is. It's not even something they're working on anymore. I really wish you boneheads would get over that. How did you come to be here? Do you think mankind will ever wake up and realize they don't need religion? That is holding us back. Yeah, I do. Beef stew. Thank you. Sooner or later. Um, yeah, I do think we will. It might take forever. Hey, and use a lot of numbers. We just talked about this. Hey, no disrespect, just curious. How would you explain our existence? I just explained our existence. We've evolved to this point from from simple biochemistry, and the people who study these things know about it. They understand it. They've explained it. It's there. Some of them work on the details, I suppose, in between, but it's not really a matter of how do we get here? How did life on the planet arise from from non-life? It's not. It's just I don't know how to say it any less condescendingly. It's fucking figured out already, buddy. We know it. What do you think about downloadable consciousness? Yeah, I think I think it's going to happen, honestly. And I was talking to some of my buddies who are really into it, and I think probably maybe not this generation, but maybe by the next one they'll be able to do that. I think that's something that I hope I live long enough to for them to be able to do that. I don't think that is out of the question, though. I think that they'll figure out a way. Because that's the thing, this is why there's no soul, because how is your consciousness and your thoughts and your memories imprinted on that soul? We know how it's done in the brain physically through neurons and the physiology of the brain. We understand how that is. Well, how is that knowledge then kept in a spirit being that's not matter, that's just pure energy? How does that there's no way to show that could possibly happen. So um the idea of you know uploading it really and to a cloud or a chip or um would that be downloading? I don't know, I'm not a computer guy, but if I'm watching Altered Carbon now, right, where everybody has a stack and they call it a stack, and it's basically a disk with your human file in it, that everything that makes you up, and they can take that and put it into a new body whenever they want. I do think that will happen. I honestly do. I don't think they're even all that far away from the AI and the uploading of human consciousness. I think will probably defeat death at some point, at least for people with money, right? Like the show says. I'm talking about Christian scholars are dishonorable to real. Kevin Rubik's, what's up, my guy? The soul was how the layman explained the mind. Yeah, the mind, the personality, the fact that we're all different. We have charisma. We have, a uniqueness we have a spirit in that sense to us. Yeah. Where did you get your hat? I got it on Amazon, my friend. Collective consciousness holds all thought. Mind is a governing vessel. Okay. What are your thoughts on reincarnation in young children who remember past lives? Yeah, again, until it's really like verified, they're all just stories, and maybe they're stories that we can't explain. But yeah, if you're watching those YouTube videos, you're giving someone money. But again, until science is able to study, experiment, it's all just anecdotal. And maybe it's amazing. Maybe we don't really understand it. Maybe it's evocative on some level, but yeah, in my world, there's nothing to it still. Christianity is just weird. The rest of the Abrahamic religions don't have a savior, but um, thanks, Atheist Hub, my guy. What's up? Young Atheist Hub is here. Um, yeah, and Christianity, the Christians try to separate Christianity that way, right? It's like the idiot who said that Christianity was God's attempt to reach man, right? They'll do that a lot. Like all these other religions have figures that wanted to be God, but only Christianity has a God that wanted to be human, right? And that makes it different, right? So I'm used to Christians spinning it that way, but it doesn't make a fucking lick of sense. I was religious. Thank you for asking. I'm scrolling back here to see. I did see that. Emily Clark. What's up, Emily Clark? Are you not Amelia Clark? That would be exciting. But yeah, no, I grew up Protestant, not Catholic, not ever Catholic. I wasn't even in the part of the country where Catholics were really. Um, but yeah, I grew up a mainline Protestant, liberal church, no hellfire, no biblical literalism, no devil talk. It was very easy to be a skeptic and very easy to step away from it as soon as I got away from my parents. You're a healing Catholic, Emily. Good for you. There's a toot out for you, my friend. Um, I like that term. I'm a healing Catholic. Matthew is a former J Dubs and atheist. You mean you're an atheist now, or you're a former J Dub and a former atheist? Funny how location determines religious beliefs. Yeah, and who you were born to, your parents. Somehow, it was a complete coincidence that I was born Hindu, but luckily that was the right religion because I was born into it. Yeah, people who can't step away from that reality and see that are just, that's really the height of indoctrination, isn't it? When you can't see that, you're like, oh yes, well, Allah is real, and oh, the Quran is the most perfect book ever written. Yeah, well, funny how you think that because you're Arabian, and if you were born in America, you'd think that there was Jesus. Um, Recovering Catholic. I love that. I call it mind wiping. Do you, Kev? Former Mennonite. Wow, good for you for getting out of that. That's culty, isn't it? Mennonites and Amish and folk like that, they get kind of a pass, but in my mind, it's just as creepy as the rest of that shit. It is also the Star Trek teleport theory. Is the new consciousness actually you? Fun to think about. I get it. Yeah, if you disassemble your atoms and send them somewhere else, is it actually you? I feel so bad for my fam who are stuck in religion. So do I, Heather. It's rough to watch, isn't it? It's most of mine have escaped. My mom is still just she's stuck on it, but she's so sweet and she's 80. It's like, what are you gonna do? You love my ACC, my accent? Do I have an accent that you love? Is that what ACC is? Or Atlantic Coast Conference we talking about? I just have to respect your right to have that opinion. What opinion? I never believed, even as a very young child, I always thought that adults around me were nut jobs. I admire people who had that going on. My name is Norel. There's one for you for child skeptics. See, I bought I drank the Kool-Aid and I bought the fucking bullshit that my mom was spinning us and that we got down at church. Even though, like I said, it was mild, it wasn't like freaky, it wasn't Pentecostal, it wasn't apostolic, it wasn't snake handling, it was just congregationalist. It was just like, here you go to church on Sunday, you listen to the preachers talk, and you go home after singing a few hymns, and you don't like make it define your life beyond that. Oh, account. Duh. Thanks, creature preacher. Thank you. We usually see that with a T, ACCT, right? Then I would have known. But yeah, no, sorry, man. I appreciate you for being here. Um, but yeah, we're talking about family, right? It's rough when you realize. Realized from an early age that I was more intelligent than my mom was, and it's like it's sad for a 13-year-old kid, 12, 13-year-old kid to start realizing that you're like that. But I admire so much people who have that story, so they were never able to believe from the time they were 5, 6 years old and could get their head around what the hell they were trying to get fed, and they just couldn't buy it. And it's sad when you grow up that way and you see the rest of your family is so deeply steeped in these irrational thoughts and fantasy and comfort myths that are so clearly made up by man and so clearly stand in the way of real progress and real intelligent conversation and discourse, right? I mean, it's you just see people shut down. There's a guy on my threads now who won't. He's left hundreds and hundreds of comments. This David Sadkoff guy, he's just like so convinced everything that anybody can say, he works it back in to how it all fits. Like what's really not even a new idea. The newest one of the newest religions out there is Christianity, based on countless earlier religions, and you could just see him spinning his wheels in this psychological evil circle that he can never escape, and trying to work all kinds of fucking justifications in to try to claim that his belief system that he inherited or that he was indoctrinated into is somehow defensible philosophically or verifiable scientifically. It's a fucking embarrassment, man. So I'm sorry for everybody whose family has you got to deal with a family that's still just so challenged, so fucking challenged in that way. Myth challenge to cling to superstition like Linus to his blanket. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's comfort, right? It's comfort. We get that. No, nothing is more jarring than that first time you realize that all that stuff is just made up for our own comfort. That's something that atheists all have to deal with. But once you're there, it's much more freeing um, than the other way. It really is. I'm good, atheist Jesus. What's up, my man? How you doing, dude? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping here. You guys don't know Atheist Jesus, you should be following him. I don't feel happiness without religion. Okay, sorry. That's what it's there for, right? I mean, no one's going to tell you that you shouldn't have the right to feel happy. So if being lied to and lying to yourself makes you feel happy, then we all need to get through the night, bud. That's Hopens fucking Hopens Hope Hopens Vakatenements. Yeah, we got snow here yesterday too, man. That's just fucking depressing. It's not gonna stick for a while, but like a couple of driving along the road, it snowed like it was a blizzard for a minute, and then it coats the grass, and then the sun came out and it went away. But yeah, sorry to hear that, man. It's I don't need any more of that shit. Um, you guys got snow, Michigan, Ohio area. We got snow today. True, it doesn't make them good, just less bad, maybe. You only want to be atheist because you don't want to be held accountable. Accountable for what? But it don't work that way. I think you mean it doesn't work that way. Thanks, Blasphemous, for that comment. That's literally one of the silliest things that we ever hear as atheists. Yeah, well, I just want to be because we can't choose to not believe. You act like we're like saying, you know what? I don't want to have to go to hell, so I'm just not going to believe it. No, if something is patently stupid, we can't just believe it. Atheists are demonstrably better people than religious people, in my experience, and in the experience of many other observers. And to the idea that we want to be atheists so that we can just sin and have no accountability is flat fucking stupid, man. Why would you even come up with an idea like that? But get a fucking clue. Religion brings me happiness and peace. Good for you, man. Good for you. Yeah, I don't know how to help you there. That works for you. Um, Whatever gets you through the night, man. My dog is happy with a pig's ear. So if religion works to make you happy, that's I guess that's the best you can say for it. Is somebody made it up to try to make people happy when otherwise they'd be unhappy because they were going to die and that was it for them. I don't know. Um, I miss snow. It doesn't snow as much as it did before in Berlin. You're in Berlin. That's awesome, man. Berlin on the bucket list. Got to go to Berlin. But yeah, it doesn't snow like it did anywhere. That's called global warming, man. It doesn't snow here in anywhere near what it used to. I had to deal with my sister telling me my house is on fire for years. Why? Because you weren't Christian enough for her? If you were to be a character in Winnie the Pooh, who would it be? Oh man, I think probably a Tigger. I don't know. I'm random. I'm goofy. I bounce around, and kind of in a crazy, irreverent way. So I don't know who has more fun than Tigger does in life. But I always liked Piglet too. Um, I'm okay with people being religious. Just leave me alone about it. Yeah, how about it? When that's the thing. Why do they need to? Atheist Jesus says we get like one snow day every 4 years in Atlanta. Yeah, if it snows in Atlanta, shit comes to a fucking standstill, doesn't it? Man, they get like an inch of snow comes down, and people are like, ah, the whole city shuts down. They don't know what to do. Driving people are crashing. Like, you read about Islam? Yeah, I'm reading the Quran right now. Yeah, it's markedly stupid. If you were to fight one of the gods, who would it be? If I were to fight one of the gods, who would it be? Probably Jesus. He can't fight back, right? A couple of fucking gut punches and he goes down. What's your opinion on Buddhism? Buddhism's gotten a good rap for specious reasons. I think I don't mind Buddhism. The philosophy of Buddhism is great. I think it's better than the Abrahamic faith. But I think Buddhism as an institution has gotten unfairly gotten a platinum reputation in the West, hasn't it? And people think that Buddhism is like the good religion and the answer. And meanwhile, you got Buddhist atrocities from Myanmar to fucking Japan and back. I mean, they're no better than the rest of the religious idiots when it comes to that kind of shit. Uh, uh, uh. What do you think about Judaism? I think that Judaism is like a really, really tiny religion in the scheme of things, and people tend to think it's like one of the big three, because it was around us. It's like, we have the Abrahamic faith, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Judaism is like 1% of Americans, or like it's less than two. It's like 1.8% of people in America are Jews, and it's a tiny, tiny religion on a world scale. In the West, does it have too much influence? Maybe, but yeah, in politics, maybe, but I don't hold that against Judaism. I think Zionism is disgusting, and I think that the Jews aren't. They're not going to escape my wrath. And I want to do an HR review on Judaism. They'll probably get fired just like the rest of these fuckers. And right, if it wasn't for Judaism, we wouldn't have the big assholes in the world. We wouldn't have Christians and Muslims in the world if it wasn't for Judaism. So I blame them for that. I'm kidding. I don't. It's crazy, but it's so small. The other two religions come from the Jewish. Yeah, right. Well, because it's insular. It's not. Islam and Christianity strive to gain followers, right? Islam breeds followers and takes over countries and forces them to be Islamic. And Christianity did the same thing with colonization, missionary work, and Christian universalism. Those are religions that actively try to grow, and whereas Judaism is like, no, if you're not already part of the club, we don't fucking want you. Which is just as disgusting, really. But um, I, that's the first time you've seen an American say that they don't support Zionism. I think there's probably more of us than you know. But yeah, it's a whole might makes right kind of fucking thing with that, and Israel's gotten, I mean, after what they went through, it's hard to blame anybody for trying to be like, all right, here's your fucking place, just here, live here, and people leave you alone, and all that. So it's hard not to have sympathy, for what the Jewish people have gone through, but Israel has become just a shit show, hasn't it? And Zionism unsupportable. The Palestinians need taken care of. It was wrong. They just got their land ripped out from under them and given to someone else, And I'm not Mr. Palestine. They haven't helped themselves with the way they've gone about business over the past 40, 50, 60 years. But it's time that they got taken care of. And so yeah, I don't I think there's a lot more anti-Zionist Americans than you would think, and a lot of us are probably atheists. It's born again Christians and evangelicals who support Zionism, because it's all part of their whole fucking apocalyptic outlook. What is your favorite Christmas holiday meals? Um, I like turkey and gravy. A lot of people down on turkey, but I'm a dark meat guy, so I don't really care if the white meat's a little dry. But I don't know what's better than a fucking turkey leg plopped in fucking gravy with some mashed potatoes hanging off of it, and good crispy turkey skin. I don't need much more than that, for a Christmas meal, to be honest with you. I'm not a ham guy. I never understood getting ham for Christmas. It's just salty ass pork. I'd rather have fresh pork than ham. So many people are into ham, and I like ham. Probably my least favorite meat, honestly. What religion are you? This is the Atheist Underground. What religion would you guess that I am, my friend? Tax the church. Yeah, tax the church. I think we just shut the churches and take all their money. Just like Henry VIII. Just shut them down, take all their fucking money. Not even tax them. Just go there, shut the fucking doors, seize all their assets, and tell them that they're not allowed to do any fucking business anymore. What's worse, Islam or Christianity? It's two sides of the same coin, isn't it? It's like, I feel like Islam's probably worse in terms of actual violence spawned, but Christianity is not far behind. The evils that have been perpetrated in the name of Christianity, Even if these days they're less extremist violent, they're just as fucking extremist. They're just as fundamentalist. They're just as backwards. They're just as bigoted. They're just as short-sighted. They're just as nearsighted. They're just as myopic. They're just as fucked up. Islam and Christianity, to me, could be put on a boat right now and shot to the fucking moon, and never to return, and we would all be happier tomorrow. Do you have any positive views on religion, Christianity? Yeah, I mean, like we were saying before, religion at its best is self-help, right? If you can't get through the night without your comfort myth, then that's what it's there for. Just keep it to your fucking self. Stop pretending you know it's real. Stop pretending that it's good for children. Stop pretending that it should be part of the government, and fucking take comfort in your fucking stupid comfort myth. I don't, I don't have any issue with that. And I do think I'm not that guy who's like, yeah, Christianity's never done anything good. There's a really nice church down the street that's always helping out the neighborhood. They're always having a dinner. They're giving out COVID supplies. They're doing what they can for the downtrodden people in the community. I think there's a lot of good that still goes on the micro level in those kind of churches. It doesn't excuse the lazy thinking that is religiosity, but you know. There's no question that good, well-meaning Christian people have done a lot of good for society over the years, right? It was Christians in the North who realized that slavery was bad, that really pushed for emancipation. And there's not, I speak like I paint with a broad brush everything, but no, I mean, I know plenty of beautiful Christian people who are just trying to live, and I know a lot of beautiful Muslim people. They're just trying to live. They're just trying to get along, raise their kids, and make a living, and not get persecuted. And they don't care about theocracy. They don't care about shoving religion down other people's throats. There's plenty of good to say about religion and religious people. I just think in the end, it's a net negative. It's only dragging us down as a society as we go forward. The best of religion, the best of Christianity is still at some level a fundamental denial of science, and an unwillingness to go to a certain level to learn the truth. It's just like, nope, we're done here. We're going to believe this. No matter what the evidence says, no matter what other possible answers are out there, we're done. We're believing this because this is what we were told. It's fucking stupid. It's an intellectual embarrassment. It's a cop out, in terms of learning, and I can't sanction it. I just can't. Can arthritis be helped by prayer? And not unless you if you're praying like this with your hands and like working them like you would with like those balls, those Chinese balls. So maybe the act of praying you can like loosen up your joints, but no, of course not. Arthritis helped by prayer. Prayer doesn't. Nothing fails like prayer. Prayer is absolutely useless as far as achieving results. All it does is make the person who's praying feel better in their minds. Religion put science back so many hundreds of years. Yeah, it's like embarrassing to think of where we could be as far as technological advancements if it wasn't for backwards ass Christians and other religions dragging us down. Freedom from religion should be respected. Yes, it should, and it's not. And that brings me to my organizational. Holy shit! People are blowing up the fucking YouTube today. Thanks for being here, you guys. I got talking and didn't see what was up, but thanks for watching, Jeffrey B. and Boomer you having a conversation on YouTube. I apologize, you guys, for missing. It looks like they're talking to each other, so I'm not gonna feel too bad about it. How can religion and science coexist better? Religion needs to stop pretending it's right. That's how. Religion needs to stop pretending that science backs it up. There was a time when I grew up when they did religion. It's a whole non-overlapping magisterium thing, which I think is kind of bullshit, but it's the only way to look at it. Religion addresses questions of the spirit and the metaphysical that science is not meant to. So again, if that makes you feel better about yourself, be religious, but don't deny science ever on any level. Period. That's the only way they can get along. Religion to accept scientific knowledge, not to deny it because it goes against their preconceived notions, but to accept it and evolve, like the Catholic Church did when it accepted evolution. It just changed its doctrine. Okay, well, we can't look at Genesis like fact anymore because it's been shown that it's not. It just makes you sound stupid to deny what science knows. Can you unban me? You're talking? You can't be banned, right? God followers and disciples. How are you saying something if you're banned? It's funny we left Europe for freedom of religion, and now they're less religious than America. Yeah, there's a lot of reasons for that, and we've talked about it. Religion gives people morality, though. No, it doesn't. Thanks for saying that, but no, it doesn't. Religion actually robs people of morality, from what I can see. Religion influences healthcare policies and constitutions. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. Laissez-faire. We should let it alone. It would be cool if we had an organization that did good deeds instead of churches. We do. We have. There's lots of organizations like that that do good deeds instead of churches. Foundation Beyond Belief, just one off the top of my mind. But most atheist organizations have charitable factions or divisions within them that they do good um, without church. It's just it's not very visible. It's up to all of us to go out there and do that. And if somebody else was asking, well, how can I how can I come up with community um, when you leave church and you don't have that community and that sense of that social aspect of church people miss when they don't believe, but they liked going to church because there was a community there and it was a social event every week. There's Sunday assembly. You can start your own. There's all kinds of atheist organizations. We have a chapter of FFRF, and I meant to tout it. FFRF. Go to ffrf.org, ffrf.org, and join for $40 and let your money go to something real, fighting Christian nationalism, fighting violations of the separation of church and state. But if there's lots of organizations, you just need to look for them. And if there's not near you, I encourage you to start one. It's very, very satisfying. You can start one and just have people get together. Jesus died for my sins. How can I not believe in him? Because that's a made-up story. And how could someone die for your sins? It doesn't make a lick of sense. It's silly. He died 2,000 years ago before you ever were around to sin. I, use your logical brain. That's just a story. You only believe that because people told you that. Your grandma and your grandma's grandma. Um, it's idiotic. God is like that abusive partner that people can't see, but everyone else can see. Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, they think they're in love, but they don't understand that they're in jail. What? Yeah, I don't see that you're banned. God's followers. Yeah, sorry. Jesus died for my Easter eggs. God is a narcissist. Yeah, that's right. Keisha Hendricks, my girl. What's up? How you doing, Keisha? What's up in Texas today? No, I believe that because I have the Holy Spirit inside me. Ooh. uh, poor Hopins fucking the Nems. Sin and morality are made up anyway. How can someone die for a made up ideology? Yeah, none of it makes any sense. I mean, you have to be, you just have to ignore your logic if you're going to believe that stuff. I met this dude barefoot in the woods on mushrooms. Christianity is one of the least moral religions I've ever seen. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I'm not sure it was meant to be that way, but today, modern Christianity is certainly immoral in the extreme. Understand what went on at the Council of Nicaea, you'll understand that man created the Trinity. Of course, yes. Read the Book of Enoch. Yeah, I get that on my list. Somebody told me to read Enoch, and I have not done it yet. Repent to Zeus. Stephen, HL32, he's here every week asking about the soul. No, there's no soul. There's no soul. Read my lips. No soul, man. Who's our first bot? You guys. You shouldn't have to read the Bible to want to be a good person. Yeah, that's the thing, boy. If you need the Bible to be a good person, or if you need like religion to like tell you not to fuck with other people, then you got problems, that go beyond that. I can assure you that I'm blocked. How am I reading your comments if you're blocked? Is that the bot you guys are talking about? What the fuck is up? So what happens when you die? What happened before you were born? What happens when you die? Lights go out, buddy. Consciousness fades. Brush of DMZ. And you see, right? Yes, your life flashes in front of your eyes. You have one last fabulous dream. It's that last great experience, my friend, dying, and then it's going to be like exactly like it was before you were born. Did you find that particularly objectionable? Oblivion, my friend, a long dark sleep. The Holy Spirit is in me, and now I'm pregnant. God damn it! I'm trying to. Harry Potter sounds more realistic. Definitely more fun. Definitely more fun. What do you want done with your body when you die? I don't know. Maybe I'll donate it to science, but probably if not, cremated. It's a shame what we do with the earth, filling it up with dead bodies, for religious reasons, right? There's no other reason, but everybody should be cremated or donated. Do people actually like Easter? Yeah, there's a lot of candy involved in Easter, and it means spring is coming. Lord Bottomsley Upton peerage for contributions against idiocy. Thanks, man. Yeah, Sir Hugo made his reappearance the other day, didn't he? Not too much play on the limericks. So you guys are always great asking for limericks, but the limericks that I put up usually not the better performers on my page. Looking at the questions again. Uh, uh, uh. If you have a question, put it in the question box so I can look at it down at the bottom, because I will miss them if they just go by and they're like, "You're not answering my question." Graves take up space. No one's going to remember anyone anyway. Yeah, all cemeteries should be destroyed right now and use that land for something real. It's really disgusting. Going to have organs donated, then cremate remains, and have ashes made into aerial fireworks display. That's cool. That's cool. I feel like I don't really give a fuck, because it's not gonna matter to me. They can do whatever they want with my ashes, and how does it affect you? To the thought that you might have a care about what they do with your body after you die is in my world kind of an admission that you might think that there's something up there. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, let me sprinkle my ashes in my favorite fishing river. Why? I mean, I'm an atheist. I don't To do that would mean that I think that there's something else there, like that means something, that my ashes would go to where I want it to be. You know what I mean? And I don't believe that. So it sounds romantic to when you're alive. Maybe even if you're an atheist, to talk about what to do, but in the end, it's like it's completely immaterial, man. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. After I'm dead, fucking put my head on a spike like the old days and fucking make fun of me. It doesn't fucking matter. What are you thankful for this year? Thankful for all of you guys, man, and thankful that this TikTok worked out so well for us and the organization here at Atheist Underground, and that I'm able to do this twice a week and have such a good time talking to you people, answering questions, interacting with my atheist peeps. We should plant trees for our loved ones and put back into the earth. Yeah, everybody should plant a tree. Um, and then you can use some fertilizer. You can use the ashes for fertilizer at the bottom of the tree. I'm thankful for this platform as well. It's like a mixed bag, isn't it? Because TikTok sucks, man. We're like on here getting banned and getting shadow banned, and getting like I haven't been able to access my creator account since like March or I don't know. We made this up in February, and by April, I had already been banned from accessing my creator account until December. Right? It's just a way for TikTok to keep your money, right? Because they're banking, money comes in. If they don't have to give it out, then it's sitting in their account gaining interest or whatever the fuck they're doing with it. It's just a way for them to control. And I didn't do it. I didn't do anything that got me banned for more than a couple days from posting, and some of that stuff, the videos got put back up. So it's like, what am I really being punished for? But and I can't access my creator fund for like 8 months because of a couple community guidelines violations that every atheist has to put up with. But they don't tell you what the violations are. They don't give you any clue what you've done to violate uh, the community guidelines. They're just like, well, adult content and nudity. There's no fucking nudity in my videos, but they don't tell you which part of it flagged that or got reported for that, and so you can't know how not to repeat it. It's just a joke, the whole thing. So yeah, while I love TikTok and I love what we've got going on here, I also hate it. It's a mixed bag, right? Psst, Jesus, what is that, Matthew Ficky? Hey, you trying to get blocked, man? Uh-oh. Thank you, Daidu Zoo 3 Jesus. No preaching on the train. Jesus doesn't love anything except his dirt nap. Prove the flying spaghetti monster is false. Yeah, this is like, prove it's false. How many people come at you with that? Atheists every day. Yeah, you can't prove it's false. You can't prove it's false. It's not honest to prove it's false. We just deny your positive claim because you have no evidence for it, and it sounds silly. It sounds fucking stupid. Yeah, there they are. Sharon Sexton 467. Prove there is no God. Prove that wasn't a real fart. Go ahead. I dare you. You can't do it. So dumb. Prove there is. You can't prove there is no God. So I must. Uh, Mountain Laurel, my girl. What's up? It seems a lot to just utilize TikTok to funnel interest to other areas. It seems a lot of people who just use TikTok to utilize TikTok to funnel interest to other areas. Yeah, maybe. What do you think about Flynn One Jesus US? Yeah, this fucking asshole Flynn. I pulled that up to talk about. This motherfucking piece of shit wants one religion, right? Michael Flynn demands one religion under God at far right rally. It's just something that he knows is going to play. No, he knows it's going to play to the assholes that are watching this shit. He probably doesn't believe it himself because he knows it's wrong. He knows it's unconstitutional. He knows it's an embarrassment. But he's there at a far right rally. The people in the audience are literally knuckle dragging, anti-vaxxer, Trumpy, undereducated, the stupidest people that we have in America. The stupidest people, and I say that with complete confidence that I'm right. But Michael Flynn, former felon, that's right, felon and former Trump advisor, got pardoned. One of Trump's pardons said that if we are going to have one nation under God, which we must, we have to have one religion, one nation under God, and one religion under God. Yeah, this guy's a fucking moron and a dangerous person. And here's Josh Mandel, Jew, right? Josh Mandel, how could you not be Jewish with a name like Josh Mandel? We stand with General Flynn. Really? Which religion is it going to be that General Flynn picks for us? Josh Mandel is it going to be Judaism? No, but there has never been, in my estimation, a more cynical pandering to born again Christians than Josh Mandel undertakes as a congressman from Ohio. He is obviously probably an atheist because he was raised Jewish, and he is siding with the evangelical Christians in America to the point where he promotes General Flynn's idea that there should be just one religion. Well, does he think they're going to pick Judaism? No, he just doesn't. He doesn't care. He wants to pander to the fuckwits that are on the other end of this fucking ridiculous idea from Michael Flynn. Everybody know, every commenter from the right and the left understands that to say something like that is completely unconstitutional. We have plurality here. We have the right to belong to any fucking religion we want or no religion at all. And to suggest that America should have one religion, this is the fuck. Isn't this what people are crying about on the right? That they're going to force us into one religion? That the New World Order is? And here this asshole is from the right promoting one religion in America. Honestly, it's fucking embarrassing. Anybody who subscribes to that idea or is a fan of Michael Flynn, or the idea that we should have one religion, ought to have their fucking head examined. If not, be taken outside and just beaten up. You seriously think God is not real? He put the yeah, dude. We seriously think God is not real. There's no evidence for him. Thanks. Thanks for your third grade on the playground. You believe in God? He made everything. How can you not believe in God? Ooh, my parents say there's God. My parents say there's God. And my parents say there's God. My parents say there's God. Everybody believes in God. How can you not believe in God? Ooh, 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 ooh. You know how dumb you sound, man? So where you come from? I come from Connecticut. Where you come from? They want hungry. They want hungry here? What's hungry? Can Mom 9? What does that mean they want hungry here? Happy weekly book day club. Okay. The Big Mac is more respectable. Nothing wrong with a fresh Big Mac now and again. You know, I love that Thousand Island dressing, and there's a little bit of a different flavor once in a great while. Not very often. I don't like fast food. I don't eat a lot of fast food, but once in a while, the Big Mac reminds me of being a kid. Two all beef patty, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on sesame bun. Atheists believe by faith based on their evidence God doesn't exist. Yeah, okay. More atheists faith. Yeah, wrong. Anything to say about Muslims? Yes, Muslims suck. No, I know plenty of good Muslims. Islam is the motherlode of bad ideas, but I know plenty of good Muslims. I mean, what do you want me to say about Muslims? I know so many cool Muslims, so many. They don't really, religion takes a back seat. They were born Muslims. They're not fundamentalists. They're not extremists. They're not warmongers. They're not terrorists. They're good people, loving people who just figure there's a God because that's how they were indoctrinated too. So yeah, to ask me how I feel about Muslims, it's like, wow, how do you feel about the Jews? How do you feel about, no, I feel that Islam is, like Sam Harris said, the motherlode of bad ideas, a net negative on society, has spawned fundamentalist violence on a scale that we couldn't have even dreamed of. Muslims, mostly good people. Will the real Muslim Shady please allow to the guy who says the Bible is proven? Did somebody say the Bible is proven? I love that, man. Pence spoke there. Tucker went there. Christian autocracy government in Hungary, not Hungary. Hungary, is Hungary gone fundamentalist? Is Hungary gone? I didn't know that. I always think of Hungary as being a progressive, cool ass country, but I guess religions and dopes are everywhere, man. Q people are the best. Yeah, there's a verifiable statement. The best at what? Fooling themselves, making up shit, and trying to get the rest of us to believe it. Atheist Christianity is the first issue to deal with. We'll handle the other religions after that. What's atheist Christianity? Sounds like an oxymoron to me. Oxymoron. Jesus give you eyes, hands, everything, and you talk bad about him. Why? Jesus didn't give me shit. Jesus didn't give me shit except a really fucking itchy philosophy. And he didn't even give us that, right? Jesus was just, if he existed, he was a Jew. He didn't give us Christianity. He didn't give me eyes. He didn't give me hands. Why would you even say that? That's fucking ridiculous. Jesus. Did he die for our sins or did he give me my fucking hands? Never trust a Q-tip. Germany has a very high amount of atheists and Christians. For the most part, it's pretty good there. Many atheists pray for God on their deathbed. No, they don't. And even if they do, what does that mean? Does that mean God's real? Because atheists, get scared at the end and pray to God at the end. It doesn't mean anything. It just means that they copped out on their atheism or they got scared or whatever. None of that makes God real. Why do people bring that up all the time? I don't believe that. First of all, we've had people from nursing homes and hospices who say that they see people on their deathbed routinely, and nobody, literally nobody in their last minutes is concerned with God. Nobody. That's what they say. Why are you wearing a train conductor hat? No hate. It's cool. Because the Atheist Underground is a virtual railway. And so, I'm the engineer. So I have a train hat and a train whistle. Thoughts on Reagan? Ronald Reagan or young Ron Reagan with his atheistic commercials that are out there? Yeah, yeah. Reagan was an idiot. Reagan was another Christian who was guilty and fear-ridden, and was a slave to his indoctrination, and it made him less of a man, in my opinion. I've read and heard Reagan say things that make you know that he was eternally guilty and fear-ridden and messed up because of the way that he was raised, and even he kind of knew it. He said things that made you know that he was aware that he wasn't free to be himself because of Christian indoctrination. But yeah, it's his fault that we have um, such a uh, such a born again evangelical Christian bent to the nation. It all started with him. Before that, there was plenty of Christians, but the evangelicals were kind of a back burner thing. It wasn't in your face, but when Reagan came and the whole "just say no" and the conservative, you know, blue blazer wearing crowd of fascist fucks that came after him, it all went together. This wave of born againism became fashionable. To be conservative started becoming a political identity that attached itself to Christianity. So yeah, how do you be born again? You're not born again. It's a silly figure of speech and a metaphor for accepting Jesus in your life. You were only born once, and we only die once, and we only have one world right here. Yeah, Pat Buchanan, what a piece of shit that asshole was. Do you believe necrophilia is wrong? Uh, I don't make judgments on people's sexual proclivities if they're not hurting somebody else, right? Hard to say that necrophilia is hurting somebody else. So yeah, I'm going to reserve judgment on that. Reagan squashed all help for mental health and lost his mind in the end. Karma, yeah, right. Um, no, I'm not a train conductor. I am an engineer of a metaphorical virtual railway here on the Atheist Underground, like the London Underground. See, it's like a subway system, trains. Reagan started the ball rolling for all the problems we have today. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that. It really is. Do you have any negative views on atheists, toxic atheists? Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's any better to be one of these atheists that talks about destroying religion or ending it all and making it illegal. And I do think atheists can go over the top with their own version of proselytizing, but 99% of that is a reaction to Christian evangelism and the damage done to society by Christians. So I don't get overly upset with atheists who need to speak out, because it's just like, are you upset with black people for standing up for their rights? Are you upset with women for being vocal about feminism? Are you upset with the LGBT community for demanding their rights in society? No. So to hear atheists get slammed for evangelical atheism or toxic atheism, I'm not really sure what that is, but no, religious people deserve everything that they get handed to them and shoved up their asses from atheists at this point, because none of us would exist if it wasn't for the Christo fascists that have gripped the country. You wouldn't see atheists out of control. You wouldn't see people overreacting. You wouldn't see people freaking out about it. You wouldn't even see guys like me, who talk about it and who make fun of religion, but who also admit and will fight for religious people's right to be religious. That's uh, you know two separate things. They can both exist. So yes, while to answer your question in a roundabout way, yeah, I think there's toxic atheists that can be obnoxious and that don't do a lot for the atheist movement the way that they do business. But I don't really, I don't get down on anybody, because social justice is for everybody, and that includes the right wing fuckwits that are out there trying to get their own social justice by beating down social justice warriors of any other kind. Um, it's um, it's understandable, and the atheists aren't going to go away until religious people um, back off of shoving religion down our throats. And sorry, Adine, on YouTube. Sorry, I know you guys are. Um, I know you guys are here, and I appreciate you. And it's hard for me. It's hard for me to read the comments on both. Um, so yes, once in a while I do look over here. Thank you, Boomer, you for being there and for answering questions as they come up. And Dean is like, Hail Jesus, repent to Jesus now, heathens. He's over here preaching on me on YouTube, and then he's like, don't you even read the comments? Jesus Christ, man. I thought you think he'd have like a real question for me or something. He's gonna like be, he's mad that I haven't paid attention to his fucking trolling on YouTube. Yikes. As long as they're not forcing their religious laws on me and hurt people, I don't care what they do. Well, this is the thing, whether you're talking about religious people or atheists, it's like, as long as you're not forcing shit on other people, how can you be upset about it? We don't hate good people regardless of the belief. We can hate the belief. Yes, right? Hate the sin, love the sinner. Isn't that what they love to say? You confuse Christianity with every other religion and hate all because of your experience with Christians. Yeah, you're making assumptions about somebody that you don't know. So yeah, that's verifiably false. Thank you for the comment. But I'm not confusing Christianity with every other religion. I'm conflating Christianity with every other religion. All religions at some point diminish our ability to think critically. And that's not to say that there isn't a scale where some religions, are much more are much better at simply setting up a philosophical and a mental a way of emotionally answering questions or achieving enlightenment, extending yourself spiritually, if you will, than they are at simply proselytizing and jamming a belief system down someone's throat. I think there's a scale there, and Christianity's at the top of the bad. Like somebody else asked, what do you think of Christianity is a bigger a religion gets, the worse it gets, period. But at some point, if you're going to stop searching for truth and give it up to an unknown like God, you are denying yourself part of your ability to actually reason and search for answers. It's a cop out to me, and an intellectual cop out, and one that I'm not willing to convene in my life. So if that makes you feel good and helps you sleep at night, then good for you. But I'm certainly not. I'm not letting my experiences with Christianity, which were not bad. See, this is what people don't get about me. I had a great religion growing up. I had a great experience with my religion growing up. I suffered no religious trauma. I'm thankful for my religious education. I went to a very cool church. I love the people that were there. I loved my pastor, loved the education that I got, was able to see past it, was able to put it in perspective, was able to compartmentalize it, was able to move beyond it. But again, I was not that guy. Like Christianity didn't break me. I didn't come out with some fucking drama. I didn't have a priest touch me inappropriately. I didn't have a minister try to sneak me in the back room. I didn't have parents who beat me if I didn't go. There was none of that. I didn't have any of that. I just realized now as an adult with eyes and ears and senses, I can look around and see the damage done by religion to my friends, to my peers, to people that were my classmates, relatives, and other people who are just crippled emotionally and otherwise by stupid fucking religion. And again, to bring up an earlier commenter's point, where could we be if it wasn't for religion holding us back from things like stem cell research and whatever else that we're not doing because of religious considerations that could advance life on the planet for all of us? It's fucking embarrassing. Again, if you need it for you, keep it to yourself. Do it. Do it at night. Do it in private, like Jesus wanted you to. Keep it the fuck out of people's way. Religion's like a penis, right? It's okay to have one. It's okay to be proud of it. Just don't pull it out in public and don't show it to my kids, man. It will be all right. I had an awful experience with religion, but it's not the reason I don't believe it. Okay, they teach that these are the end times and destroy hope and happiness. They've been teaching that shit since since Christ was a corporal, as they say. Jesus was an apocalyptic preacher. He thought that the end times were coming basically before his generation would die. talking to people. That's what he told them. And so they've been saying that shit since then. Every generation that's ever existed, the religious folks think we're in end times. It's just how stupid do you have to be not to be able to see that? Everybody, every year, everywhere says, look how bad things are getting in the world. These are signs of the end times. It's never been any different than that. But you liar, you praise Satan. You liar, you praise Satan. Is that a sentence, bud? I am LGBTQ, so I was taught that I was made wrong. Yeah, you know, you got a perfect God out there, but he made you wrong, right? What the fuck? How, that's just, it's a weak-minded person who listens to someone say that to them and can believe it logically. How is a perfect God who knows everything and is all loving, how does he make imperfect people? And then after he makes imperfect people, how does he set up this fucking mousetrap style course of hoops of fire to jump through and contraptions to put together for you to get out of the predicament that he put you in? It's moronic. I have a cold. It's the end times. Yeah. I love that. Bro, it clearly says when technology is at its peak, it's the end. Bro, it clearly says when technology is at its peak, it's the end. The fuck wrong with you? Are you really that dumb? What kind of a sentence is when technology is at its peak? How could technology be at its peak? Every minute that we're alive, technology is at its peak, and then the peak grows tomorrow when somebody invents something else. That's literally one of the stupidest things I've ever read. Technology will never be at its peak except for temporarily. Right now technology is at its peak, and then tomorrow it'll be at its peak again. And the next year when we, what are you, stupid? You think tech is at its peak? We've only started. But it is at its peak because right now is where, you know what I mean? He's not wrong. It's at its peak, but it's not going to start going down or peak out, and then that's it. And then, it's like end times are here because technology's reached its peak. What? Who the fuck are you to say technology's reached its peak? Some people aren't smart enough to know how dumb they are. Yeah, no, it's sad, and it's all about education, right? If we educate people better, we wouldn't be in the position we're in to even like read comments like this where people like think that that's really fucking relevant or even makes sense. What is that? Listen to what you're saying. Hey, Rewu, love you, girl. Thanks for being here. Just wait for the Dyson Sphere. End of times. Yes. Yeah. Apple Watch came out. End of times. We're all gonna chip in our eye pretty soon. And Oni, right? Like you guys watch Altered Carbon? That's what I'm watching now, and it's pretty good. I gotta say, it's complicated. You gotta pay attention. Woo woo, J Bone Stripes. What's up with you, man? How does religion hold you back? It does not. Well, it stops people from using commas and periods for one thing, and use run-on sentences that make no sense. How does religion hold you back? Anytime that you give up the answer to a possible question to a preconceived notion like God, you are denying yourself the ability to find the actual answer. So, in a nutshell, there you have it. Religion makes people believe in a God of the gaps when there's probably an answer out there that is real. Okay, so that's just one way. But thanks for playing. Yeah, I put off watching Altered Carbon for a long time, and then I started, and I was like, wow, this is okay. I've been missing out. Netflix getting real with with an R-rated show, and it's good science fiction. It really is. Get a real noir feel, and I love noir. Does anybody love film noir? I find it fucking gorgeous and a beautiful fucking style. And Altered Carbon looks a lot like Blade Runner, to my eye. That's the nearest thing I can compare it to. And some of my girlfriend's watching, she's like, this reminds me of The Expanse that you watch. I'm like, that's not really like The Expanse. It's science fiction, so I guess from a you know from a cinematographic level, when you look at it, you're like, okay, it's set in space or set in the future, and everything's tech, but it's much more like Blade Runner, where it's a noir detective story in a way, without the detective part really, but kind of, kind of is. But yeah, the dark, films at night, raining, filtered light, um, just everything that makes a movie noir. Altered Carbon really is, and it's but besides that, it's a pretty deep concept, and the writing is pretty good, man. You got to pay attention. It's not one of these things you can watch and just watch it go by because it's in the background. You got to, if you want to enjoy it, you got to pay attention to it. But you could also argue Satan is the answer by virtue of, was God's smartest angel? Are you answering someone there? All these atheists always look alike. Lol. What's that mean? That's another way. You're like you're on track for like 2 or 3 of the stupidest comments so far today. Um, Atheists are the first to say religion causes hate, but don't see the hate they preach. It's okay to see. It's okay to hate the hateful. You see what I mean? And atheism doesn't have a holy book that says turn the other cheek. You see what I mean? I'm under no compulsion to turn the other cheek because I'm not a Christian. So when I see injustice in the world, when I see bigotry, when I see wrongdoing, when I see hate, I hate it. And I don't give a fuck what you think about that. That is how change gets done. When you see something that's wrong and you stand up against it, and you hate injustice and you hate the hurt that's being done to people, there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't have to love my enemy if my enemy is going to kill me, right? And if my enemy is dragging down the world through its backwards philosophy and its uh, lack of reason and its lack of effort at finding answers that help all of civilization and protect our planet, then I get to hate that. And yeah, we don't preach hate against people. We don't like the guy said. We can hate the belief, but not hate the believer. Um, so yeah, you're just salty that we exist. You're just salty that we don't all get on board with your made up comfort myth. You're just salty that somebody is kicking back against Christian privilege in America, whatever it is. It makes you uncomfortable that atheists exist. So here you are dragging out atheists preach hate. Yeah, yeah, we hate the fucking hateable, dude. Get over it. We hate being discriminated against in America. We are the last civil rights movement. We hate what religion has done to secular people. We hate what religion has done to this formerly great secular nation. We hate what religion does to our emotionally crippled friends, cousins, relatives, nephews, nieces, aunts, uncles, grannies, who cannot escape the indoctrination that was foisted upon them from the time that they were born. And it has crippled them emotionally and spiritually and in other ways in society, to the point where people can't even function, are so guilty and fear ridden that they can't even function. Yeah, we hate that, man. um, and I got no issue with that. Thank you for you, Carmen Denominator. I love that name. I'm the Carmen Denominator. There is no hate like Christian love. Yeah, we do need to get that on a t-shirt, don't we? Somebody's asking for book recommendations. I recommend The Christ Conspiracy by Acharya S. I'd forgotten about that book, and it came to mind a little while ago when somebody brought it up. Read that one. The late Acharya S., great thinker and a great mythicist, explains why why Jesus was made up basically to help create, for political reasons, to help Rome create a state religion, that they could take over the world under. And it lays it all out and explains the ties between astrotheology, ancient astrotheology, astrology, and the Christ myth. So right now, that's what I'm recommending for new atheists. Go back and read that one. But yeah, read everything you can. A million people have great ideas about it. goes further. Nearly every president in U.S. history are mostly Christian. Yeah, that's an exaggeration. The ones that you can remember, the ones you can name, all pretended to be Christians. The early ones were deists; they weren't Christians. Abraham Lincoln was an agnostic, famously not a Christian. Whether he was a theist, yeah, that's up in the air. He wasn't sure, but he was not a Christian. And I have a feeling that many, many, many of the early presidents before the day of TV and overexposure and pandering to the public, not very Christian, didn't give a shit about it. So if we really, really, really were to find out, half, I bet you half the presidents could really be called Christians. And the rest, Obama, atheist. Trump, atheist. Clinton, atheist. Um, Going back, Lyndon B. Johnson didn't give a fuck. Probably called himself a Christian, didn't give a fuck. JFK, Catholic, understood that science held sway. Catholic in name only. Before that, Eisenhower didn't give a fuck about religion. Needed what he needed. He fell prey to the whole religious right, but that's all political. He's trying to get elected, trying to get things done. He didn't give a shit about church. And again, if you go back into the 1800s and look at a lot of those early presidents, they didn't give a fuck about religion. They weren't Christians. Think Obama was an atheist. Okay, but think what you want. I don't like too intelligent, too much of a guy. He understood. He was a politician. He understood he needed to be seen as a Christian to get elected. I don't believe Obama's a believer in God. Too educated. Thanks for the Russian comment. Zdarova. Does that mean goodbye? Zdarova, man. I hit translate, and one of the words stayed in Russian. You have video of who mocking the Bible? Did you say the French conspiracy? I don't think so. Hello, Russian Rove. Yeah, Trump knows that all. He doesn't even pretend. All he has to do is say it, a soundbite once in a while for Fox News, and all the idiots will believe it. They're just so happy to have somebody who they think is sticking up for them. That they'll vote for him. And when he hates those people, you know what I mean? He's rich. He was brought up in society. He doesn't want anything to do with a trailer park living in fucking Tennessee. It's pandering at its worst. So do you think Jesus was a real cult leader or all made up? I think Jesus was all made up, personally. I'm about 60-40 on Jesus mythicism, where I think he's probably made up. Tax the church, yes, Dave. Speak on it. We can think deeper than the sheep that blindly get indoctrinated and judge everyone. Yes. Was Obama an atheist or just open-minded? Yeah, we just talked about that. I don't. I mean, he'll always say he was a Christian, and he's got his black church preacher guy that he goes to for, for optics, really. But I don't believe it. Have you seen Church of Suffrage? No. Seen a lot of church suffering. You know that there are still a few states where you can't hold public office as an atheist. Yeah, we know that. There's 7, maybe 8, depending on how you read them, but it's unenforceable. You couldn't get elected probably, but you can run and they're not going to be able to stop you. But yeah, these archaic laws need to come off the books. Again, it's just an example of the bigotry and the prejudice that we face as secular people. In this, the first great secular nation, but the Supreme Court ruling has made it made it impossible for those states to actually uphold those laws. If you wanted to run as an atheist in Tennessee or Texas, you could. You wouldn't win, but you could, for sure. Yeah, The Founding Myth by Andrew Seidel I like to recommend too. It's a good book. It's very pertinent today, and you need to understand how to argue with people who think that this is a Christian nation, because it's a dangerous concept. The idea that this is a Christian nation is ubiquitous. I see it in multiple generations. When I had to fight the school district, the news people came down and interviewed me, and they interviewed people to get the other side of the story. They interviewed some other parents and like, are you upset by this too? This Christian propaganda that the teacher had on the wall, and virtually all the other teachers were like, oh no, what's wrong with it? It's great. I think every classroom would should have it. And it's because they were miseducated the same way. They were brought up in an education system that failed them and let them think that it's okay to spin this as a Christian nation instead of a nation of freedom of religion and freedom from religion, both. So the education system has failed us and created generations of people who were miseducated about the founding of the country. We've lost the knowledge of it. When I was taught in fifth grade in New England, we went on a field trip to Boston to see the Freedom Trail and to see the roots of the revolution. And we knew then that the founders were deists as fifth graders. And we've lost that in the American school system. And people aren't educated properly to the point where we have Moses and Abraham being inserted into history classes like they were actual figures. How fucking embarrassing can you get? You talk about how people asking how religion drags us down. Well, there you are, right there. You're misinforming children on a worldwide scale or on a national scale by telling them that that events in the Bible are historical fact when we should be teaching them historical fact and how to fucking get along, in the modern world, instead of teaching them about Bronze Age mythology as though it were right. What the fuck do you want, dog? Huh? What do you want? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? There she is. She's mouthing off about something. Wants to go outside, man. I don't know. Take it easy, Kev. Thanks for being here, buddy. I'll see you later, man. Appreciate you, dude. Puppet? Can we see the puppet? Do I have a puppet? I don't have a puppet. I do want to make a puppet out of this guy here. Hang on. I'll show you this. This is Helmo. He's not a puppet. He's just a stuffed animal. But my friend made this for me after we fought the school district. So he's got a little forked tail and everything. But it's Elmo. But he's Helmo. See, and the idea was that Helmo would be a puppet who then taught people about reality and about truth and kind of a play on Elmo, but teaching religious assholes what they should know already from school that they didn't get taught in school, because like I said, school in America doesn't teach anybody anything. So at some point maybe I want to do something with Homo, but you only have so much time, man, and this takes about leave religious people alone. Colson and director, leave us alone. If religious people left the rest of us alone, we would leave religious people alone. It's that simple. Thanks, Cletus. You like Helmo? Yeah, thanks. I wish I had endless time on my hands. I would have done more with the Helmo concept. But Helmo was the guy who wrote the ABCs of Faith that I did as a video, right? A is for atheists leading the pack. B is for Buddha who keeps coming back. C for creationists lying to tots. D is for Darwin connecting the dots. And I go through the whole alphabet. It's on the page if you scroll down to that video. But Helmo was in charge of stuff like that, where he would do Elmo style stuff. Like today is brought to you by the letter E. E stands for evangelicals, right? I mean, Helmo's got an Italian accent. So there's a whole character there and a whole bunch of bits worked around him. So hopefully I can. Dog wants to play with Helmo. No, the dog can't rip up Helmo. It's my only Helmo that I got. So yeah, no. So what's going on here? We're just ranting about religion like we usually do, and I appreciate the folks on YouTube. I'm sorry I'm not able to pay attention, but here's one for Boomer You. Thanks for staying in contact with the other commenters on YouTube. I appreciate it. There's only one person watching, but there's comments from 10 people, so not sure how that works out. But do follow us on YouTube, please. We're trying to get to 1,000 so I can take the camera out, right? I can do live shit on YouTube from my device. Right now, with less than 1,000, we're getting there slowly, but pull down the link in the bio and you can follow us on Instagrams, follow us on the YouTubes. And when we get to 1,000, we will have some more fun. You trying to see the dog? Come here, Ginger. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Up. Come here. Come here. Come here. People want to see you in the camera. There she is. Ginger, Ginger. That's my Australian cattle dog. She's so awesome, man. What a great fucking dog, man. You guys are familiar with Australian cattle dogs? Um, they're half dingo, and it makes them smarter than most dogs. Um, like a German Shepherd that's bred with a wolf. They're smarter. They're smarter than these mutts. They're smarter than these made up fucking breeds of dogs, right? These fucking um, designer dogs, right? They call them. I have a cockapoo, or I have a Chiweenie. Somebody mixed my Lhasa Apso with a Cocker Spaniel, and now I have a Kakapapsu. These fucking dogs. Like, really, this is what you're getting for a fucking dog? Give me this fucking Australian cattle dog. I saw a guy on the. He had a little farm, and he had a thing up, and it said Australian healer puppies, and I almost crashed because I couldn't wait to drive in and get me an Australian cattle dog. They're just the best fucking dogs. Yeah, border collie, same way. They're smart. They're smart fucking dogs, man. Border collie, too much hair for me. This one's got enough hair, and it like comes off this dog like constantly. It's just such a thick coat. It's not long, but it's thick, and it's constantly shedding. The one drawback, I do not want a hairy dog, and this dog is pretty fucking hairy. Audible voice. You want a pit bull? Well, that shouldn't be too hard. Um, they're everywhere, man. Yeah, yeah, I don't know, and I haven't spent time on YouTube. It's my fault. Thanks, Keisha, for saying that. And I will. Now, winter's coming, and I'll get more actual just content out on YouTube. The limericks are going to have to go on YouTube because I can't put them on um, uh, with impunity. I can't put them on TikTok. They're going to get taken down sooner or later. I couldn't put one up on Muhammad. It got taken down right away by the Muslim snowflakes who called in to complain about it. All the other limericks that I've done are still up, but I feel like the ones that I have in the pipeline are just sooner or later they're going to get more. They're going to get taken down. They're going to get me reported. They're going to get my account in trouble. So I'm thinking about moving all the limericks to YouTube, and I do have other stuff planned that I can put on YouTube and help us get to 1,000. But yeah, I do want to ramp up that effort there. So I appreciate everybody following on YouTube and helping us get there. And we will do more with it as soon as we possibly can. Yeah, the Sheltie, yeah, those are smart dogs too. Most of the herding dogs, I mean, you can't beat it. They're so smart. And these dogs, like, they herd. This one will herd a train. We have the train going by out here, and when she was little, she would like chase the wheels of the fucking train. No lie, almost had a heart attack. This dog went right in front of the train, and the train goes really slow, but you're like, Jesus, you see your dog doing that, you're like, oh my god. And then the dog like kept looking for a chance to run under the train to get back to me, and I was just like, stay there until the train goes by. And she did. She's young. So she's fast. It's hard to catch her. And people are like, I don't want to run over your dog. I'm like, you know what? If you run over this dog, the dog deserved it, because she's young. And as soon as something gets close to her, she's out of the way. If there's a religious person on this chat, please debate me. I will make you atheist. I love it. I hate Skittles. Love you for saying that. You ever get people who are like, debate me? The Christian people like, debate me. I can prove to you in 5 minutes why you're not an atheist. And then thanks for the subscribes, you guys. I can see a couple of subscribers to YouTube as we're talking here, and I appreciate you for doing that. But it always cracks me up how religious people think that they have what it takes to like beat you in a debate when they're really just debating uh, from like a, how do I say it? From the weakest possible position. They have nothing to back up on. There's no evidence for what they claim whatsoever. So the philosophical hoops that they have to jump through and the twisting of science that they have to engage in just to make it seem like it might be real, it's embarrassing. I don't know how they fucking do it. I hate Skittles. Debate me, god damn it. So yeah, I admire people like Jeff the Atheist Troll, who like really look for debates with Christians and other religious people, because I can't take it. It's like debating a fucking piece of wood. They're intransigent. They're not going to believe, and they're not going to bring anything to the table to make you believe because they don't have anything to bring. Their minds are set. Your minds are set, and it's never going to get anywhere. And it always comes back to, well, I just have faith, and that's right. That's the thing. In the end, it should always come back to, well, I just have faith. That's what it's about. I respect somebody who says that, because at least they're not trying to twist reality to fit their claims. They're at least they're being realistic about the fact that they know it's just faith and it works for them. That's the beauty of it. If it's faith that's saving you, and your faith is helping you get by every day, and helping you sleep at night, and helping you be a better person, and helping you get over your emotional problems, and helping you get over your drug addiction, that's awesome. Just admit that it's faith. Stop trying to talk about how it's fucking real. You just make yourself stupid when you try to pretend it's real. Belief is stronger than fact, to the believer, I guess. I'm curious, is it a lack of intelligence or fear that keeps people in religious chains, or a mix? I think it's a mix. I mean, I think it's um, more of a lack of education probably than actual intelligence. I hate to get down on everybody in such a general way, because there are smart religious people that just can't get over their indoctrination, and the idea that spiritually it's a comfort to them, and they don't, if they can admit that it's just faith, um, then at least they're on the right track, and they can maybe compartmentalize and at least learn in the areas where they can learn. But yeah, I think it's the lack of intelligence and education, and fear of being wrong because of the indoctrination, and people are crippled forever. When people say, "God, kids are fine being religious. They don't have any issue being religious. It works out great for them." Yeah, maybe, but that's like saying, my grandfather smoked cigarettes until he was 103 and never got cancer, so cigarettes don't cause cancer. Well, no, that's not how it works. So maybe your kid doesn't show any signs of religious trauma. That doesn't mean that you haven't affected their critical thinking skills by foisting religion on their young brains. It doesn't, just because they're happy, just because they're not getting beaten, just because your preacher and pastor and priest doesn't happen to be a pervert and touchy and feely, and just because you had a good time in church, doesn't mean that it was the best thing for you. You're still might be suffering under the weight of this affliction, this miseducation, even though you don't see any symptoms of it. And in fact, you might be a well-adjusted, high achieving, successful person. It doesn't mean that you couldn't have been better. It doesn't mean that you needed to fucking uh, uh, break psychologically in order to stay believing what someone just told you was true when you were a kid. And is none of that is necessarily true. I've met very intelligent Muslims at my university. Yes, indeed, indeed, there are very intelligent religious people. A lot of those people just don't give it a lot of thought. They're just, okay. Well, everybody for all time in my world has always believed, and so I'm going to believe. And it doesn't stop them from getting a decent education in other ways. The problem comes when they try to claim that it's true, and when they try to brainwash other people, especially children, into the way that they think. That's where the issue comes in, where they do things that are, objectively harmful to other people in the name of that religion, and many of them never do. But many of them do. It's just it's a problem. It's an issue, but it doesn't mean that there aren't some smart people out there that are religious. You can be smart and believe things for bad reasons. Yes, indeed, you can. And that's the insidious nature of it. Very smart people, very high functioning smart people, are still fucked up by religion. Yes, I'm an atheist, Frederick the Stone. That's why we're called the Atheist Underground. Are you new? Are you new to the channel? Hello, Kid 14. What's up? The ex-evangelicals here have some really horrible stories about childhood. Yeah, and the ex-evangelicals are an important movement, man. We really need those guys. And I'm so happy to see that. It's like ex-Muslims, right? It's one thing to be like me, and I'm an ex-Christian, but I don't even call myself that because it's been so long. And I wasn't brainwashed in that way. It never stuck because it's patently absurd. Once you think for yourself, and you weren't browbeaten and broken psychologically as a child, but it was presented to you in the manner of a Sunday school education on religion, and this is what we believe, but your nuanced ideas about this belief are okay. It doesn't have to be um, biblically literal. It doesn't have to be fire and brimstone. It doesn't have to be, the devil's at work in your life and you're gonna burn in hell forever. It doesn't have to be that way. A lot of Christian denominations aren't that way. It's just the ones we see. The evangelicals are the ones that are the loudest, right? And they're the most obnoxious with the least amount of actual thinking gone into their theology. And those are the dangerous ones. It's not so big of a deal for a guy like me to come out of Christianity and then be an atheist activist. But when an evangelical comes out, when someone who came from that abusive relationship with their church that they had, and they come out and start doing what we do here and working against it, it means so much more, because the people that are locked in that cycle of abuse have an actual example of someone who broke it and someone who went through what they're going through and can speak to how wrong it is. That's why people like Eve Was Framed and um, don't tax the churches, right? A sandwich, people like that who were, and Atheist Sanctuary, who came out of Jehovah's Witnesses. These and all the ex-Muslims that we know, Apostate Aladdin and Ayan Hirsi Ali, and public figures that are ex-Muslims. That's what they're so more important, so much more important than guys like me, who are just pseudo intellectuals who are out here, with our the obvious truth of atheism, and we didn't really suffer religious trauma. We're just out here going, "Yeah, well, clearly these are just comfort myths," and any moron can see that. Once you take a step back from it, anybody can see that these are just societally sanctioned comfort myths that we were all indoctrinated into. But people who come from evangelicals, or people who come from evangelism, or people who come from Mormonism, or people who come from the J Dubs or the Scientologists or the Muslims, that were in that real fundamental um, religion, it's so much more powerful. Or ex preachers or ex seminarians like Captain Deadpool and our guy Dan Barker and Seth Andrews, who used to be preachers and then came out of it and say, no, this is the harm. And to me, it carries so much more weight. And so ex evangelicals, all love. They get all love from me. Um, that's great stuff. Thanks for the likes, you guys. Thanks for the presence. I appreciate it. And thanks for being here. Communists used to say that religion is an opium for society. Yeah, that was, I think that was Freud, right? Freud said that religion was the opium of the masses, and it really is. If you can't afford opium, get high on God. Why not? I'm going to tell you what, I've done both, God and opium. Opium, way better, way better. Learned more, saw more, had more fun. Um, but yeah, it really is. It's a drug, man. Was it Marx who said that? It could be. Um, You'd love to hear from more ex-Muslims. Yeah, look into it. I would Google them and look them up, and they're out there. And listen to our guy Apostate Aladdin. And there's somebody else. Who am I missing? There's somebody else on TikTok that's pretty big ex-Muslim, and it's important. It's important to hear what they have to say, because it's in such stark contrast to um, the constant buzz of Mormon or Muslim propaganda that you hear from Muslim trolls who come on to say that their religion is true, and the Quran is perfect, and God's final attempt to fix all this is um, the people that are on here as ex-Muslims will equip you with what you need uh, to answer those people, because we don't know. A lot of us don't know unless you've read the Quran or looked into how you argue about it. They'll get you with all that pseudoscience. Well, science. How did Muhammad know? And how did a guy in the desert know that the earth was covered with 90% water? Really? And they'll say anything. And the ex-Muslims know. They know how to debunk the Quran. They know how to answer these ridiculous claims, really, that Muslim fundamentalists and apologists come up with, that a lot of us don't know. We're like, I don't know, how did he know that? You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, those people are super important. Um, I'm watching you on both apps. The vocals are off. It's like you're talking to yourself. Maybe I should not have smoked before watching you. Sorry, Michelle. Does this not work? I don't know. I just have two cameras set up here, and there's more comments than there are viewers on YouTube today. So I'm sorry about that. If it's confusing, maybe I'll try to figure that out. Um, what made me realize it was wrong for me is when the hair on my neck stood up from preaching, like you're gonna about to get struck by lightning. You feel like the hair goes up on your back. Dive out of the way. Yeah, belief ain't knowledge. No, it isn't. The Balrog is here. Sorry I didn't see you before, man. Thanks for the likes. You shall not pass. I was terrified of Baptist sect from the start at like 5'6". Yo. The TikTok instance gets all the interactions. Um, Yeah, I think so. And I guess if you're watching both apps, maybe there's a lag on one of them, so it doesn't look right to you. So I apologize for that, but it is 12:30. Already been 2 hours. God, I love doing this so much. I love talking to you guys. And I love all of you for being here. And appreciate you. Appreciate your input. Appreciate your questions. Appreciate your patience. I'm a wacky guy. I know that, and it means a lot to me that you're here for me. Trump 2090. There, I can get behind that. Trump can run in 2090. I can imagine to push his big ugly corpse up there. He'd still get votes. Thank you all for being here. Love you so much. I will see you. I'll be traveling Wednesday. I'm not sure if I can do a Wednesday live because I am headed to Boston this week for the FFRF convention, which will be next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'll be hitting the road to go there. If you're going to be in Boston for the FFRF convention, please look me up. I doubt I'll have the hat on. I might have it with me, but it might affect even the Sunday. I'm not sure if I can do the Sunday or the Wednesday live, so it might be a week off until I see you all again. If I'll try to get on at some point, I might be able to shake up the time and do a little live from the convention, and maybe we can sneak a peek at Gloria Steinem or someone like that, right? But anyway, thank you all. Love you so much. I would climb through the camera and make love to each one of you if I could in a row, but I can't, so I won't. So yeah, maybe next weekend. And it might be at a different time. I'll try to put up a warning. So appreciate you all. Love you long time and take care.